building, between the Las Vegas Arts Center, where these drummers and the dancers and community teachers teach our children African American history and culture. Our plan was to assemble in the amphitheater outside. And it was my intention at that assemblage to name that space outside, i.e. Christopher Columbus. And I will. When I went through the bureaucratic system and filled out all of the forms and paperwork for us to basically be doing what we're doing here, but outside, I asked for the use of the facility, and I asked the city, what is the name of the facility? And they said it's called the amphitheater. I said, no, what is the name of the amphitheater? And they said it doesn't have a name. And I said, you mean to tell me black folks have been having activities, programs, and things in this area for the last 20 years and has never given it a name? Wow. So a la Christopher Columbus, ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes. Envision yourself standing in the middle of the amphitheater next to this facility while Al Gurrier says, henceforth, this place will be called and known as the new Congo Square. This is how we move forward with Juneteenth. Correct. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Congress of the United States is about to declare our holiday. We actually have a gentleman in our presence here today who is the single lead person on this effort and has been lobbying Congress for a number of years. Last year, we were able to get 99 senators to approve our holiday. Those of you who know who the Congress works, unfortunately, we were only able to get 99. But we will get our holiday. If not this year, and we already have 2 bills in Congress, and what I need for you to do is to say to your congressman that both your senators and representatives that they need to support the Juneteenth bill. That's our only objective here today. Sure, we've had a half dozen events already. We've got a half more dozen coming where we'll teach you about the history of Juneteenth. We'll share with you our history, our culture in this setting that we call the Desert Renaissance. But ladies and gentlemen, since we have the pleasure of having the president of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation and the gentleman who has spearheaded the effort of getting our holiday in Congress is here today with us, I'd like to bring to the stage and introduce the president of NJOF, Mr. Steve Williams, who walked with us in our Freedom Walk. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you very much, sir. Hey everyone, thank you. My name is Steve Williams. I'm the president of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation. And I don't take that lightly. And the battle that has been going on was one that kind of snuck up on us. And that's how things kind of go with the Juneteenth way of things. I am the spirit at the moment, but I did not start this out, and I do not stand upon my own work, okay? I was handed this task. Yeah, she knows what I'm about to say, right? By the Reverend Ronald V. Myers, Sr., MD, Doc Myers, who's a reverend, who's a medical doctor. He worked in the poorest place in Mississippi. And he was believed that the power of Juneteenth could bring America together. So a group of leaders, from Juneteenth leaders from around the country, were called together in New Orleans, Louisiana, Yeah, not Texas, New Orleans. So understand the true scope of Juneteenth beyond it being Texas. They were called together in New Orleans, Louisiana, and Doc Myers was picked to take the message forward to America about Juneteenth. And he believed that the best way to raise awareness was by making it a holiday, much like had happened in Texas and Florida and Oklahoma before that. And so Doc went around the country and started to raise attention and awareness to Juneteenth. Started in Delaware with the famous civil rights activist Bernie Wilkins, and got Delaware to acknowledge the first state, was the first state in the National Juneteenth Observance Campaign to recognize Juneteenth. Now, people would say, why Juneteenth? You know, what's so special about that? And we have other days, and you have Freedom Day in the District of Columbia. They got their freedom on April 16th, and you've got different days throughout the year where different people got the news of freedom. But amongst the last people to receive the news of freedom were those in the West. Just because Abraham Lincoln signed the Second Confiscation Act, just because the Emancipation Proclamation was issued, just because they passed and then ratified the 13th Amendment, those were all just legislation. Juneteenth is the actualization of freedom legislation. Understand that. It's different from other days. The 4th of July, we signed the Declaration of Independence to free the land from England. And it took 10 years of fighting before they actually were able to sit down and have a constitutional Congress.